Flat of British, subscriber channel, Lee speaking. Hi, good anarchy. It feels weird doing a VanaVlog. Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, quite a lot of people like the VanaVlogs. About 1,000 people, which is not bad. And most people seem to like it because, you know, I'm not full of shit. You know, it's like I'm just a man in a white van in the UK. You know, just being real, just talking, and that seems to be the main thing, apparently, with VanaVlogs. I don't know if there's any kind of reflection on when I do like the picture vlogs, which I might just mention again. I don't put descriptions on picture vlogs. And the reason I do picture vlogs is because, you know, the pictures that you see, 99% of the time are to do with Flat of British and the research that goes on. They're associated with it, but I don't give any explanations or locations or anything like that. It, you know, the images should just speak for themselves. You know? You don't need me to tell you how to suck eggs. You know? And, you know, on top of that, you know, naming places is ridiculous. When those names have have an additional meaning or something like that. So if I say to you Egypt, you know, it conjures up so many different spells, doesn't it? So, but you know, there are pyramids all across the plain, so it doesn't matter, does it? Pyramids are not unique to Egypt. So, and then I wouldn't even say pyramids, because who knows what they were? They could have just been rooftops, or they could have been, or you know, collapsed building, complexed. Complexed, is that a word? Oh, I can't look it up. Complexed. Yeah, collapsed. Just complexed structures. But we're taught to give these things names. And of course, you know, the actual meanings of the things that we do see is kind of obscured by words. You know, you see what you see, you know. I mean, a pyramid is not a word, you know. If I did a drawing of a pyramid, it'd be a pyramid, yeah. But if I wrote the word pyramid, it wouldn't look like a pyramid, would it? So words take away the meaning. So I don't do that in my vlogs. When I do picture vlogs, I know. Although a lot of people do complain about it, well, tough titties. Tough titties. So my main channel is not coming back. It's gone. They totally and utterly destroyed it. And it's no way it's coming back. Which is kind of expected, really, seeing as, you know, 6 weeks ago I left one dimension and entered this one. Or the dimension itself that I was in, which I called World A, but now I'm in World B. World A become World B. That was something that I hadn't really thought about until this week. I hadn't thought, because James Brockhurst had commented and said, "Are you sure it's you that died, Lee?" And I was like, yeah, silly, really. I shouldn't have said that, should I? And to be honest, I'm really not sure what's happened. I'm still not sure what's happened exactly. Did I die? Am I a ghost in a ghost world? You know, just can't, as of yet, just can't say for sure. But there has been a transition. There's definitely been a movement. And, you know, the last 2 weeks, it's just the only way I can describe this new world that I am in right now is lackluster. It's the best word that I've got. For weeks now, I don't do any research, don't do anything, because of the wife. And how everything was in World A up to the point of the transition. And then once that had come to pass, which I say was about 6 weeks ago, so I've been 6 weeks now in this new world, for want of a World B. Just everything is lackluster. Everything's changed. Everything's the same, but it's lacking in everything. I watch movies every evening now. Just sit with the wife on the sofa, and that's it. I don't do nothing. I don't do anything at all. I don't think. I just mong out. But of course, when I'm watching stuff, you know, things are going on. You know, every movie that I watch all the time, they're just telling me everything that, you know, over the last 5 years we've discovered on Flat Earth British. Right? They just tell you straight out, you know. And they can, because most people haven't got a clue that they double speak. You know? But I say, of all the movies that I've been watching, I say 80% of them have been movies that I've seen before, like, you know, big epic movies. And I haven't seen them for like years and years. And on watching them, I'd forgot most of them. You know, I couldn't tell you what was going to happen next. But everything about all of the movies that I've watched, they're the same, but they're not the same. There's something missing. Luster is the only word I've got. So I was watching, one that really got me was Dumber and Dumber. I was watching Dumber and Dumber with Jim Carrey and the other guy. And they look slightly different. And like in World A, Jim Carrey, he really had an elastic face. He can, you know, contortion his face into just amazing, you know, just absolutely amazing. And yet, it's like he only had half the ability watching that movie. But I know, when I watched it in World A, it was far more incredible. You know, his skill, his acting was far more intense, far more entertaining. you know, sensational. And I'm watching it and I'm just like, you know, is this like a clone or a twin brother or something? Pretending. And it's been like that for lots of things. People that I've known are thinner or fatter, older or look younger. But everybody is not quite the same. So, you know, that's been my reality. And it's been hard to do a VanaVlog because I'm like, you know, I did that in World A, but now I'm in a different world. But as I said, I can't work out exactly what's happened. So I don't know if the world has changed. And I don't know if, like, flat of British people are still the same people from World A, also now in World B, or only some of them have crossed over. I mean, it's just, I just can't nail it down at all. But whether the world has been displaced or I've been displaced, it's been a displacement. And I'm just where I am, thinking like, fuck, what happens with this? So anyway, in World A, I'd say for about 8 years, I guess, I've been looking up Agenda 21. I think that exists here, Agenda 21. And, you know, Agenda 21, you know, I'll just like surmise quickly. It's to get everybody into cities, to get everybody to stop eating meat, to end personal ownership, which isn't a bad thing actually, but the way they're going to use it is a bad way. Yeah, ending personal ownership, so you can't own land, you can't have a farm, you can't, you know, they don't want that. You won't be able to own a car. Everyone's going to live in cities, all public transport. They will completely contain, regulate everything that you do, and get the human population down to a very low number. And then, you know, those that are behind Agenda 21 will then just completely reign overall. So that's Agenda 21. And the whole green thing, the whole thing about getting rid of fossil fuels, as they say, and all that lot, is all part of the same thing. So the whole Russian war thing that's starting up, it's all to do with fuel. They want to stop fuel because that gives everybody freedom of movement, which they don't want. So it's just all to do with that. It's all to do with Agenda 21. That's all it's about. I know the world leaders get together a few times a year, or several times a year, and they have meetings online all of the time. You know, they're all one big group of people. I call them the nation of world government. They are a group of people who jointly are going ahead with Agenda 21. So that was last year it began. And everything that happens from last year is going to continue. Every event that's going to come up, it could be the Queen Elizabeth dying. It's the 25th of February, by the way. You know, the Queen dying, you name it. whatever is going to come up, it's all to do with Agenda 21. It's going to be the complete erosion of human rights, freedom, completely. Because that's what Agenda 21 is all about. So, World War III and all that lot, it's just Agenda 21. That's all. So that's that. I haven't seen Martin's vlog that he did yesterday. I got a notification this morning, but I've been working, so if you expected me to reply to anything you might have said or asked me, Martin, I don't know anything about it, so sorry. Another thing came up this week. Virtual reality. Virtual reality. You must have seen in real life or on video where you've got these people that have got 3D virtual reality goggle things on, and they're playing some kind of a game with it on, and they'll be just standing in the middle of a room making weird movements. You know, they're playing a game, but you can't see the game. You just look at these people doing weird movements. Now imagine you've got a room full of switches. You know, they can be the ones that flip up and flip down, you know, like a black one, up and down like that. 4 walls, all full of switches. It could be 200 switches. And all of those switches have a purpose. They're on a circuit. And there's a man in this room, and all of these switches are within reaching distance of this guy. Yeah. But he's got these virtual reality goggles on. And in this virtual reality, he's, I don't know, an airplane pilot, or a spaceship, you know, like, I don't know, Voyager, you know, Star Trek Voyager, a shuttle, something like that, you know. And he's going through some kind of a game scenario in his virtual reality, and he's going like that, and he's flipping different switches. Yeah. Now, as far as he's concerned, he's playing a game, or he's doing something in this virtual reality, flipping these switches, turning around, flipping that, turning around, flipping this, whatever. That's his reality. But in true reality, there's a guy flipping all of these switches, and he's being controlled by this illusion that he can see and perhaps feel with his hand as he's flipping different switches. And I think that's what's going on with this whole illusion of life. It's the same thing, you know. And about a year ago, I just watched a clip on YouTube of Elon Musk it's vague, and it was in World A, not World B. It's a bit vague in my memory. And I think you had a kid or some kids with these virtual reality things on, but these ones, I think they were just glass, like, what they call it, Google glasses or something, like something they had, like something like that then. So basically you can see the world around you, but with these glasses, anyway, in this clip, you'd have, like, you know, like Pokemon, you know, like little creatures, like cartoon creatures. Cartoon creatures are just popping up here and there all around for this kid, you know. But of course, if he took off the glasses, he wouldn't see these little animated creatures, CGI creatures running around and doing stuff. And then he said, Elon, he said something along the lines, because there's some kind of an interview thing going on about virtual reality, and he was saying that we're creating a virtual reality within a virtual reality. He was saying this is all a virtual reality, and what we're doing is we're creating a virtual reality within a virtual reality. But he said something else about there being a third one, so it will be a virtual reality within a virtual reality of a virtual reality. And you know, I've never forgotten that in entirety. And I think that's what's going on. You know, that's the whole thing about the whole illusion of life. You know, I've said for about 1.5 years now, flat of British, that it is all an illusion. It's not just an off-the-cuff remark. You know, there's been reasons for that. You know, there's been thinking, there's been research, there's been, well, there has in World A. I don't know about here. I don't know about here. But just that image of that guy, you know, with the VR thing on, just grappling, going like that, or maybe going like that, you know. You know, it's just in my face, saying, like, there you go, that's what's going on, Lee, that's what's going on. And of course it is. Of course that's what's going on. And what would be really annoying is if as we interact in what we think is reality, as we go about and move and do whatever we do, that somehow we're maintaining the illusion, you know, in the real world, you know. I'm not particularly worried about this World B and everything that's going on. You know, it was important in World A because of the type of world that it was. Everything was intense. It was always a fight. It was always a war. And it's like, unbeknown to me, it was crucial. But for me, it was just normal life. But now in this world, it kind of reaffirms that, because in this place, nothing really seems to matter. Everything's like a crude copy. You know, even this whole thing with like Russia and everything like that, and say World War III and everything, you know, somehow even if there was a reset, you know. By the way, in World A, you can't just like let off a nuclear bomb. The way that it was, the way that the science, the way it's constructed in World A, is you can only detonate a nuclear bomb in certain places of the Earth, and it's got something to do with what they said there then is to do with either gravitation and air pressure, just a combination of things. There are unique geographical locations on Earth where you can drop a nuke and it will detonate. But outside of those zones, nothing will happen. It will just go splat. What? Shit. Yeah, I just got a phone call, so got distracted.
Otherwise, the rest of the world. Oh, my wife's teeth are falling out. I said all of my wife's teeth are falling out. You know, since I flipped over to this new world, she's lost half of her body weight, and it's just like a different person. And all of her teeth are falling out. It's just weird. My dad seems the same. Doesn't seem any different. But I don't know. In World A, you know, I kind of like thought to myself, if you did go like beyond the Antarctic wall, you know, you probably would reach, you know, another world. In a sense, you know, our known world and the unknown world, which is similar to the known world, but elsewhere, unknown. But here, and everything that's happened, this dimensional shift thing that's happened, I'm thinking you could probably go on forever beyond the Antarctic wall, and it would never end, because it's all just an illusion, you know. It's just variables, like a programming a Commodore 64, you know. If then so, if then so, programming, software programming, if then so. If this key gets pressed, then this happens, so that will happen. And if you go there, if you do this, then that will happen, and so this, and then that, if so then, if so then, if so then. But it's a loop. This mirage is a loop. Wait, well be, that's for sure. That's for sure. Because it's not tangible like World A at all. You know? If you can say, you know, I'd put the argument across that, you know, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. Well, I'm not a practicing alcoholic anymore. That was distracting. Not And so in world A, that would mean I would have more clarity of thought and perception. I'd have a clearer mind. I wouldn't have a hangover first thing in the morning, and I wouldn't be like be foggy minded for the rest of the day until I had another drink. But that's not what's gone on here. You know, that's not what, you know, the world doesn't seem more real than it did before. You know? Amazing, isn't it, when you think how many people there are in the world, and if all of them are going through this virtual reality thing, you know, moving. And I just used the analogy of switches. You know, how many switches are being flipped constantly every split second? And when I think about the, you know, the detail of the illusion, you know, the most intricate things, you know, and why it's like that. You know, I think if you've got so many billions of people flipping switches all of the time, you know, the complexities of what all of those people are doing moment by moment. It's not so hard to see that it's actually us that's maintaining the illusion unknowingly. Shit, how long have I been here? I'm going to stop for a bit. Back again, back again. Yeah, just going back, just in case I forgot to make the point. You know, the whole thing about Russia and gas, oil, it's just all to do, you know, the green agenda. It's just all Agenda 21. You know, that's all it is. How it will actually play out in world B, I've got no idea. I'm not even sure it makes any difference anymore. But you know what I say, you know, it's so close to the absolute truth. It's so close, so close. And I'm kind of living that reality. You know, the reality of the knowledge of total displacement from this place. You know, because I know that. Because I know that. It's not faith or belief. I'm kind of thinking, what is the point in anything? You know, as soon as you're engaged with this place, you're married. You know, you're married to it, or marred by it.
I mean, it's just, I mean, for me, you know, it's kind of silly, really. You know, this whole thing with wars, just everything. It's just so silly. It's just so silly. People getting upset about things. You know, but the elephant in the room is that life is a lie. It's an illusion. And I mean, is there any other word for it other than that the whole of humanity is enslaved by it? You know? We're all imprisoned. We don't have free will. We don't get to choose anything. And if you have limits to your choices, then you can't have free will. You can't have it. And you know, the possibilities that, you know, instinctively, you know, we all want to be able to fly, to be able to teleport from one place to another, etc., etc., etc. You know, where's your free will? You know, you don't have that choice. You don't have free will. Free will must be free to the one who has a will to do as it wants. And we simply don't have that option here. So it's incarceration. There's no free will. At least not in the confines of this illusion. We simply don't. I mean, you can see these things. When you can see these things, that it's so simple, it's so simplistic. You know, I don't work up a sweat, I don't get anxious about it or nothing. I'm just like, well, there you go. Don't have to debate, I don't have to have fake debates in my head. You know, taking on the persona of somebody else, sort of being devil's advocate to argue through. Don't have to do that. It's so simple. That's it. That's it. There's no such thing as free will. What am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Oh no, sorry, I'm supposed to be doing something. What am I supposed to be doing? I've got to drop off the records in a garage. I've got to go and see my dad. Is that it? Get a bottle of wine because it's Friday. I think that's it. I picked up the records from the lockup. Picked up the cleaning materials for tomorrow. Yeah. Completely pointless. You know, all of the things that I've got to do. Pointless. You know, in 100 years' time, if time existed, but I'm just going along with the fake narrative, you know, in 100 years' time, what seems important to me right now, like getting those records into the garage and going and seeing my dad and getting a bottle of wine, are of no significance whatsoever. And whatever I do, if there was something that was actually important that was somehow, well, I can't imagine how anything that I would do or anybody else would do would actually achieve anything. But, you know, if there was such a thing and I was to do it in 100 years, It's fucking irrelevant. So what? Oh, by the way, does anybody know? I mean, I don't know if you remember. I mean, this was in Well Day. In Well Day, when the internet first started up, and you go to Google and you do a search, and like for a site or something like that, the site will come up, and then underneath the link and the description of the page that you wanted to view, you had this option of clicking this link, and it was a mirror by Google. It mirrored the site or the page that you wanted to go and see. So if it was taken out for whatever reason, if that page or channel, site, web channel was removed, there would still be a mirror of it on Google, so you could still look at the stuff, although, you know, maybe the Java or something else was taken out of it, but you still have, you know, the basics of the information that you wanted. And I suppose over the last couple of years, I just noticed that it's not there anymore. So does anybody know if there's a way, if there's some kind of like meta search engine or something that actually mirrors YouTube channels, and I can actually sort of like go and go and download it all and then re-upload it to a different YouTube channel? Does anybody know? I really would like to know. Or if anybody actually recorded everything. I don't mean playlists, I mean actually sort of downloaded all of my content. Has anyone got that? The only reason I'm saying, I mean, it's not really about the pictures and everything, because all of the pictures that I put up on my channel all go to the Flat Earth British photo dump, Google Photos place. So they're all there in all their glory. So they're not lost. Not the pictures aren't lost. The VanaVlogs are gone. And the thing is with the VanaVlogs, they were kind of irreplaceable, really. Well, all of my thinking, all of my thinking and considerations with Flat Earth British, you know, all of the puzzle pieces found and put in the right place, it's all gone. It's all gone. And I'm aware of that now. So like when I do a VanaVlog and I don't want to explain something that I've explained over and over for years doing VanaVlogs, I'm kind of like, but I need to explain all of this stuff all over again. And I don't want to. I don't want to do it all over again. And you know, some of it is kind of, has been like a process, you know, a process of, when I started doing the VanaVlogs, I thought like most people, I started off as a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist anymore. kind of evolved, for want of a better word, to something else, and that's all been part of Flat Earth British and Martin, everyone else. You know, and that's kind of gone as well, which is kind of sucks. I mean, I know I said it's kind of like a certain irony that a month before I shifted dimensions, the channel was just taken out, you know, by just like random people who's, you know, I just copied, just played one of their vlogs because I thought that it was really, really good. There was 3 of them. And, well, there's a lot more than 3 of them, but 3 of the lot, that's it. They just fucking destroyed my channel, you know? I don't know. So if anyone could help, that would be nice, I suppose. But then, is all that stuff relevant anymore? Anyway, in this place, this world B. I don't need to go to the chip shop, so I've still got food from yesterday. Again, the whole thing about, you know, the whole concept of time, which only exists in this illusion, you know, I mean, that, I mean, I know I talk in terms of time when I'm explaining stuff, you know, but day by day, you know, I'm like, am I still in bed? Am I watching the TV in the front room right now? Am I driving? Nothing nowhere. It's just all a lie. You know, everything is a lie. I mean, if humanity did not exist on Earth, so all you had was animals and stuff, you know, you might say, well, what is the point of existence? You know, what is the point of existence? It's just animals. They just fuck and eat and shit. That's it. And drink. You know, that's it. Is that all that life's about? So what's the point of it, you know? But then if humanity exists, but then, you know, what's the achievement exactly? You know, is it roads, infrastructure, art, math? I mean, whatever humanity has achieved, like what? What's the point? What exactly is the point in that? Exactly. There is no point. Even if you're religious, you know, if you're religious, the only thing that's of any importance is your God and whether he likes you or not, right? But everything else that you may do, it's just completely fucking pointless. You know, to the Earth. You know, if you think it's flat or you think it's a planet or whatever, it's completely fucking irrelevant. You know, from a religious point of view, you know, all of your actions, all of your movements need to please your God or your gods or what the fuck ever. But the actions
in of themselves, in the place where you're doing them, just fucking matter. It's just fucking irrelevant. There's nothing's achieved. Nothing. Pointless. So for me, because of what I now know, you know, the only thing that has any kind of realism to it are the souls that are encased in human bodies. And that's the only kind of reality that's real, actually, because I'm encased in this illusion and I can't get the fuck out of it, at least not by trying to get out of it while being in it. You know, that's pointless, because it will just go on forever on a loop. Yeah, I mean, my only reality, my only consideration, if true, that humanity really does exist and they are encased and under this illusion and don't know how to get out, such as myself, then, you know, that's the only kind of like reality. And I was just reading a write-up of Martin's latest vlog yesterday, the 24th of Feb. You know, the write-up about it, because I haven't watched it, it was kind of just saying about everybody uniting their intent. And I've had a kind of similar consideration in my mind the last couple of weeks about the motivations of humanity, and could they really change it, and the ratio between the ruling classes and everybody else that obey them. You know, I have to wonder on that. You know, just wonder, but and I kind of thought, well, you know, what could I say to people exactly? But then I've got the extra complication of, what did Martin call it, paradigm shifting. You know, whether it's us who shifts, well, you know, I mean, just the whole death thing, I mean, that is people shifting for sure. But then, does the actual dimension itself shift? I'm just like, fucking hell, man. How do you even begin to like work out what's what? You know, what's actually moving? But of course, looking for answers in this world, which doesn't exist, you're never going to get an answer, are you? You're never going to find. And if you do find answers, it doesn't mean that, you know, the end result of you finding that answer is going to be a way out. You know, the problem is this place that seems so real but doesn't exist. I mean, that is the problem. You can't find the solution via the problem. The problem can't be the solution. Although, a couple of 3 weeks ago, somebody did demonstrate to me where a problem, you can use a problem to make a solution. But then, I'm going, yeah, I'll get bottles. Just a bottle of wine, isn't it?
Oh. I think I'm now John Levi. There's a lucky guy. Who wouldn't like to live where he lives, you know? I can't remember if I asked the last vlog, VanaVlog. But gents, what do you mean by outlaw? What do you mean by that exactly? I mean, what is the practical or impractical application? What do you mean? I mean, it's not like you're telling me what to do. You know, you're just informing me of an avenue that I may choose to go down. You know, so just tell me. Just tell me. What do you mean, outlaw? So I'm still in my mind looking to go to the Flat Earth British Convention in Bath. I need to find out when the date is for that. The only thing about that is like the whole flat earth subject, you know, the arguments for or against, blah blah blah. I mean, you know, I've been in it for years and I'm just fucking bored with it. You know what I mean? I mean, like Phuket Word, his channel, you know, he's done about 5 videos over the years that just categorically just you can't argue with what he says. The Earth's flat. End of story. You know? I'll say it's about 5 vlogs where we did it. You know, you only need one, but he's done 5, as far as I'm concerned. And I haven't watched him for a year, I think. But that's the thing, you know, could I sit through someone talking about why the Earth is flat for 2 or 3 hours? I'm like, no, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. So that's a bit of a problem, because if I turn up, you'd expect me to be there all the time, but then I couldn't sit through hours just listening about flat Earth. You know, just do my editing. But then, you know, people would think that I'm rude, you know, if I just walk out. Now, I don't think it's all about flat Earth. I mean, I think it's about different subjects as well, and I don't mind that flat Earth is part and parcel of that, of course. You know, it's fundamental. You know, it's like the first step to being a real truther. I don't know why it's the case, but it certainly is. I'm not going to upload this today. I haven't really said very much, and I think I'll just hold on to this, and then maybe Monday do another VanaVlog and just add it to this file. I think I'll just do that. I need to start writing things down, because I get a lot of things coming to my mind, and then, well, they're erased. Shortly after. But I'm back, but it's a different day. It's Tuesday. to do a VanaVlog these days. Sorry, the camera's shaky. It's difficult. You know, in well day, you know, every day there was like a reason, a purpose, you know, something to be achieved. This world B, it's like fucking hell, man. It's like, what is the point? What is the point? Exactly. And whatever I would choose to, like, you know, delve into, is kind of like, it's just nothing. About 10 minutes ago, I was just contemplating the insanity of nature. I mean, you just can't count how many creepy crawlies there are in nature. I mean, I don't think it could be counted. I don't think we can count how many. I mean, gazillions upon gazillions, and they all have a little purpose, a little agenda, a little thing that they do. I think it's the nearest thing to kind of like infinity you can get. You know, and about 10 years ago I would have said, oh well, that's the glory of God, that proves God exists. But of course, since then, you know, I come to realise that, well, a creepy crawly is a creepy crawly. Different shapes and sizes, but it's a creepy crawly. It could be a creepy crawly in grass, on a tree, on a leaf, in manure. It's just a creepy crawly. With a variation, and absolutely everything that you see is repetition. With a slight difference, which isn't really a difference at all, really. I mean, a stag beetle, a spider, it's a creepy crawly. You know, you've got different types of trees. A tree's a tree. And I was also thinking about, you know, you've got games. Oh, can I think of the name of the game? There's a famous game, like a video game, like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. I can't remember, but you're kind of like in a world, and you've got like a sword or a shield, or you could be something else, and this world just goes on forever and ever and ever. You know, you could literally just, in this game, walk in one direction, and a month later you're still walking, and things are still coming up for you to see, and you could keep walking for a year, you know, providing the electricity keeps going and you've still got your internet connection. You just go on forever. But of course it's an illusion. You're not actually going anywhere. You know, you're just walking in a one direction, and variables are changing. You know, you're seeing the same thing, you're always on a path, or you're walking through a forest or whatever. And there are visual differences, but on that platform, in that kind of a world, because it's just a loop all the time, you're not actually getting anywhere at all. Not getting anywhere. It's just an illusion. And I think it's the same with this illusion of life. You know, you could go beyond the Antarctic wall. You could go on forever. I would say that this place is infinite. Not in the true sense of infinity, but the illusion of infinity. You know? I've been trying to get to grips, obviously, you know, the last 2 months now since everything changed. And I just keep going back to when I was about 7 years old. I used to live next to a park. And it was a semi-detached house. It was on a terrace, but it's the end of a terrace, so it's not semi-detached terraced house. And next door was a park, quite a big park. And in that park, on the border, where I used to go through into the park, there's a bush. Well, I just remember looking at ladybirds. It's in the summer. Ladybirds and caterpillar nests all seem to be in the bushes. And I just keep going back to that moment, because I think, you know, it's just one of those moments that stick out. You know, it could be just, I mean, when you're young, I mean, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, I'd say there was probably, within a space of 10 years being a child, whilst being a child, within 10 years I probably only had 4 or 5 memories that I can recount now. And that's one of them. That's one of them I had. And if time existed, that was a long time ago, as I'm allegedly in my 50s now. And I'm thinking, well, is that a good place to kind of like reevaluate things without everything that I know now? I was a different person then. And I didn't have all the shit that I've gone through since that time. And I'm thinking, well, is there anything there? You know? Because I can recall the experience. I can recall the smell of summer. You know? While I was looking at these things. But of course, the problem I've got was that world A or world B. You know, I still don't know what the hell's going on. But Am I the same person? Yeah. Sort of 40 odd years later, am I the same person? Yeah. Inside, or should I say outside, I'm the same person. It was an inquisitive soul with no obligations. Obligations that would perhaps, you know, influence myself at that time to be something else, you know, to not be inquisitive, you know, to be burdened down by something or other. And then I wouldn't look at a bush, I wouldn't investigate, a hedge. But then I just like put myself then on a stage, if you want, you know, in my mind, and I just put the two there and kind of just look. I'm like, well, is one better than the other? You know, has there been a change, you know, in the person? You know, what's behind that mask of a human being, you know? And so far nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. But, you know, funny enough, last night I just had like a few minutes really to sort of like go onto the internet, check YouTube, and like some comments, and someone else has gone through exactly the same thing as me. Like, it sounded like, I mean, the words that they use sounds like they tried to commit suicide to me. And lived. Well, it didn't work, or it did work, they don't know. They find themselves in the same situation that I'm in. No, that's the wrong way to say it. They're having the same awareness that I've been explaining in my last 3 or 4 VanaVlogs. Which is really surprising, you know? I mean, that is really surprising. So it's a thing, because someone else has had the same experience, you know? And if I haven't been doing my VanaVlogs, you know, would that person have realised what was going on? You know, because like I've become their point of reference, because I've explained everything that's going on, and I'm like, but I mean, it's going on because of everything that's been going on in world A for 5 years. You know, I'm flat off British. You know, as far as I can see, it's because of that I've ended up where I am today. You know, but because I was on a mission, I was always looking for results in world A, and I find myself now in world B, and you know, I've still got the mindset of looking for results, you know, of what I was doing. And so that's why, you know, I've been doing these VanaVlogs, even though, you know, I've drawn a line. I mean, I drew a line, you know, 2 months ago and just said, look, you know, I've been compromised, that I have. But I'm still going anyway. I'm still going. I'm not sure the point of it. I'm not sure. I mean, this guy, no, he's kind of like, I would imagine, kind of like, oh, I've kind of like compartmentalised his experience that he's going through. Well, I didn't know anything about him until last night, you know. So it's definitely a thing. But at least now he knows, you know, that something has actually happened, you know. It's not like, going through some kind of a phase in his life, something, midlife crisis, hormone problems or something like that. And I just wonder how many other people are going to be going through the same thing. And like I was saying at the beginning of this vlog last Friday, you know, I don't know if it's the world that's changed or it's me. I mean, initially I thought it was me, and then James Brockhurst asked me if I was sure about that. And of course, you know, that wasn't, you know, it was a rhetorical question. And when I've thought about it, I'm like, yeah, you know, I just took my first assumption and just ran with it, really, which is a bit silly to assume anyway, you know. What to do with this place. I just don't know what to do with this place. I mean, I'm still just fucking freaked out. About the whole wife thing, you know? It's just, what the hell, man? You know, I'm still stuck with this other wife in my head. And this wife I've got now isn't the same one. And, you know, for me, that's kind of like a new anchor in this new world. Not an anchor of security, but just an anchor to say, like, no, you're right, you are not in the same place. And here's the evidence. Because you've known this woman for 22 years, you know, you've lived with her for 22 years, and within a space of a week, I'm with back when it started 2 months ago, within the space of a week, I was just like, what is going on? The reality of it guess I'm kind of waiting for this to happen to other people. I'm particularly waiting for it to happen to Martin. I mean, the guy that commented on, you know, that I read last night, the things that he was saying, you don't say those things unless this has happened, you know, you don't. And as I said before, this place is far easier to interpret, like as in like because everything's like lackluster. The intensity of, say, deception from, you know, the nation of world government is it's lacking. It's lacking in its potency and everything else. It's in this world. It's lacking. Just empty threats. And then that guy also was saying, well, at least I think he said that he felt a bit like a ghost. I mean, I think he said that. I can't quite remember. You know, it's a bit late when I was reading it. And it does kind of feel like that in a way, you know. But it's the world that feels like a ghost as well. A ghost of what it was. You know, in the same way that you can have an infinity by just constant repetition with slight differences. This place, it's gone again. In Well Day, I would never have kids. Never. 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 For obvious reasons. You know, but this place, and I'm kind of like, does it matter now? You know, if I ended up having kids now, does it matter? And I'm kind of thinking, no, because I just don't feel that I can achieve anything in this place, because this place is like, you know, in the Matrix, you know, like Neo in the Matrix, I can't remember which one it was now, but Neo is is at the train station. Is in a world between worlds. And you know, it kind of feels a bit like that, really. You know? I mean, I'm still under an illusion. So in that sense, you know, the big picture, world A, world B, C, D, F, what the fuck ever. There's one consistent thing, and it's the illusion of it being real, which of course it isn't. This place is seemingly less convincing than Well Day. again, the whole concept of time just doesn't fucking exist. You know, I'm getting days. I mean, like me in Well Day, the constraints of time was a big fucking issue to me. You know, like if I never want to work, ever. I hate it. And so I have to do so many hours during the day, and you know, I'd fucking make sure, if I can, that, you know, to the T, I'd do the hours, or even before, just as a matter of fucking principle, to actually get paid for actually doing nothing whilst employed. You know, that was kind of my, and so like, if I had like a last job of the day, you know, I'd be racing home, absolutely racing home in my vehicle. But now, I don't care. I don't even know where I am. I don't know where I am. I mean, right now I'm on the M3 driving to the M25 from Salisbury. Well, am I? You know, I mean, I could be sitting at home watching a movie. I could be sitting on the can taking a shit. It doesn't really fucking matter. The whole thing's an illusion. You know, it's the illusion that gives me the concept of I can be in one place or another place, a different geographical position at any given time. But I know it's all bollocks, and so I don't really. I mean, I have my moments, and I'm like, fuck, I've got to get home quick. I've got to get there before this time or something like that. I mean, that still happens to me, but most of the time, I'm kind of like in a bit of a daze, thinking that there's no importance to this place. There's no importance to the principles of this place, time, position. It's all lies. It's just not. It's not real. And so there's some part of me that now just doesn't comply. Or make me engage to make a journey, or to like go in a particular direction. I'm just like, I mean, every time when I go to bed now, I don't always feel tired. I just go to bed and I just lay there, and I'm just kind of like waiting for the answers, or contemplating. I'm just waiting for like a realisation. I mean, from Well Day, I know so much. I know so much. Forbidden knowledge. Forbidden and hidden knowledge. So much. Now in Well Day, I could understand that things wouldn't fall into place. I could understand that the intensity of that place is, you know, there's like some kind, there's like a resistance in that world. which isn't here, and yet it's still not all falling into place. And I can't think of a better time than, you know, when I go to bed before I fall asleep and I'm lying there in the dark. I wouldn't really say kind of like contemplating, it's more kind of like a mind's eye view of everything and looking at it from a perspective of, this is all bollocks, why is it happening? And how do I stop it? You know? There just still seems to be blocks in place. Like World A, but it's not as bad. I mean, the difference between World A and B is day by day I'm not suffering as a consequence of the war. You know, I'm not getting knocked back like I was before. And so I'm enjoying my life, the illusion, enjoying. And I'm enjoying the fact that it's not as hard as it was. I'm enjoying that part of it. But the fundamental blocks to stop any of us from knowing the full truth fucking still in place. And I'm kind of thinking that these blocks, they're hidden and they won't be revealed in this illusion of life, obviously, because the whole nature of the thing is deception. So in a sense, I guess I'm kind of wasting my time when I go to bed at night and I'm trying to like contemplate the whole illusion and the things that are done to humanity through it. You know, to think maybe I'm wasting my time, maybe I'm just not going to find it exactly. I mean, the only thing that did come to my mind last night. Oh no, I've got to tell you something. No, I've got to tell you something. You know, about me going from World A to B, or World A turning into World B. No. Yes. When I was talking about the virtual reality thing, and the whole thing about sleep came into my mind. I think it was just yesterday, I think. Or it was last night. No, it was last night. I was watching a movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. The one with the mermaid. There was just a couple of scenes where she's in a pool of water on land. But the pools come from the sea. So as the tide goes out, the pools are formed, and when the sea comes in, there's no pond. Pool, there's no pool. trapped in this pond thing, pool. While the sea's out. And while she's in that pool, she's contaminating that pool of water with herself. You know, sweat glands, pheromones, fecal matter, saliva, skin, scales, you name it. So until the tide comes in, she's left an imprint. She's imprinted that water with herself. When the tide comes in, the sea collects all of that information into it, and it's like she escapes. I mean, that's not part of the movie. I've just made that script up, but it was kind of like what was going through my mind. So when I was talking about the virtual reality thing, that's what we do all fucking day. You're driving, you're typing, you know, you're flipping them switches. And then of course, oh, you get tired and you have to go to bed. In compos mentis. And then, you know, that is a, so you know, you're doing all this virtual reality stuff thinking that you're living during the day, and then night time comes and then you're reduced to nothing. You're completely inactive. So if you envisage that room with all of the switches, you're just lying flat out on the floor. You're just lying flat out on the floor. So then anyone can come in, see what you've done, or glean from whatever it is that you've been doing whilst you've been under the illusion. Whilst you're asleep. You know, so I mean, that's what came into my head last night. You know, it was like that. A pool of water in the rocks. Tide comes in and takes it all away. So, I mean, they're two definite things for me that I know is going on, and that's since I've been in World B, because it's been easier to be aware of myself and others, because the intensity of this place isn't distracting me or confusing me in a way that it will be, as well they did. So that's definitely going on. That's definitely going on. Although, you know, I mean, I'm using picture language. I'm not saying, you know, we're literally in a virtual reality, got a virtual reality suit on in a room full of switches. That's not what I mean. It's just a visual example. I mean, if I wanted to talk about theft, I could give you those two examples. So it's theft. You know, know, but oh, fuck, I'm supposed to be looking where I'm going. Because I ain't got the sat nav on, I'm doing a VanaVlog. Gatwick. This is Gatwick. Fuck's sake. I still forgot to turn. There's a third thing, and it really describes the feeling that I have that goes along with the sensation awareness of what's happened to me. I'll finish this and I'll tell you. By the way, I really hate this fucking scenario I'm in at the moment where I've lost my channel. They actually fucking terminated it, the bastards. They terminated my account. It's not even fucking monetised. You know what I mean? Just got 3 twats. They went, you copied my video! And did a copyright fucking strike on me. So I should have been suspended for like a month. Because the other 2 copyrights were up, or one of them was up in February. So I had to wait a fucking month, and then I go to try and get my channel back, and they're like, no, sorry, you're completely fucking terminated, and if there was a problem, you should have let us know straight away, because, you know, now, all of those hundreds of fucking vlogs, videos, are now deleted. They cannot be retrieved. That's what they say. It just really fucking pisses me off, you know. You know, in Well Day, Martin Leaker, he had a channel called it was Flat Earth British, wasn't it? It was Flat Earth British. In this place it's called Celtic Tartarian Channel. I mean, he had another channel with about 12,000 subscribers or 6,000. No, it was even less. It was pathetic. It was like 3,000 subscribers or something like that. Oh no, there was more to it than that. No, his channel got hacked, and like every day you'd have about 50 or 80 full movies uploaded to his channel. 50 to every minute a movie was uploaded to his channel. I mean, what kind of fucking Wi-Fi existed to be able to do that? You know what I mean? I mean, it was absolutely amazing what was going on. And then, of course, think after about a week, YouTube terminated his account because he was uploading, well, he wasn't uploading, but there was all these illegal movies. They weren't porn, they were like animation and movies that hadn't been released in Britain. They're like dubbed in Chinese and stuff. I mean, it was insane. It was just insane. But that's what World Aid was like. You know, the resistance was just fucking fanatical against us, you know. So he completely fucking lost that. Totally fucking lost it. Fucking, you know. But Martin then, I don't know if he's the same now. Yeah. He didn't give a fuck. Yeah. So he started up his other channel, told me about it, and then on my channel, every time he fucking uploaded something, I uploaded it straight to my channel, put a link to his new channel, did a vlog to his new channel, and I think, and then he got his old channel back. By the time he got his old channel back, he got more subscribers on his new channel, you know. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I can do that for myself. You know, can I really just, you know, really start all over again here? Every night I just sit with the wife on the sofa and watch movies that I've seen before in World Aid. Just watch them again, and they're not the same, and the actors don't look quite the same. Nothing's the same. Nothing. Point to me telling you this. So apparently this channel, I've applied to monetize this channel. I've done it twice and it failed, but this time I've got rid of everything off of this channel that's to do with anybody else. So I had to get rid of Martin's vlogs, Wise Up vlogs, everything. And even picture vlogs. Anyway, so it's a new month now. It's March the 1st, so I can reapply. So hopefully I'll get that, and I'm gonna upload. I intend to do another 10 hour, well I didn't do a 10 hour, I did an 8-hour picture vlog before. I'm going to do a 10-hour one and put that on. And I guess try and make it Flat Earth British sub channel again. Clarify again, you know, the whole thing about Russia and Ukraine and all that lot, everything that's going on, it's all to do with Agenda 21. It's all to do with Agenda 21. The gas and everything, emissions, going green. It's all it's about. It's about nothing else but that. But world B that I never would have noticed in world A. That the whole thing about solar panels, they're trying to destroy the last sun in this scenario, this illusion. They're trying to destroy the sun. So whatever the sun really is, what it does, it's an interaction with the earth, with the sea. It's an interaction. It gets back what it puts out. Okay? It's like a loop. The whole thing's everything's a fucking loop anyway. So obviously that's a loop as well. What they're doing with the solar panels is it's non-reflective, it's not giving back anything. It's taking from the sun and it's converting it into something whereby it cannot be retrieved back by the sun. So they're going to bleed it dry. That's another thing to do with Agenda 21, because Agenda 21 is to do with destroying the sun. It's all part of it, you know. So just in case I haven't mentioned that, I'm mentioning it now. So now back to the third thing about world B, about this one, the sensation that I have. If you can imagine a tropical fish tank. 5 foot high, 4 foot wide. Length, 4 foot wide, no, a foot wide, 4 foot in length. And then every 2 inches you've got horizontal glass in the tank, like shelves. And within those shelves, those horizontal glass shelves in the glass fish tank, you've got round holes, not very big and not very many. So the way I feel is that I was like a fish in said fish tank at a particular level, and somehow I've gone through one of those holes and I'm now in a different level. And if you want, I could say the level that I'm now in is up, and so if it's up, it's less dense, the water, because there's water in the fish tank and I'm a fish in a fish tank. So I've kind of like gone up and the water isn't as dense. There's not as much resistance to my movements. That's exactly how I feel for the last 2 months. Exactly like that. It's like I'd only be half surprised if I could now levitate. You know what I mean? Because it's not, the pressure isn't as fierce as it was before. You know? to the I mean, I can't really talk anymore about this particular subject because, you know, I'm like a fish out of water, or a fish out of its depth at the moment. So regarding the mundane, it's quite clear about the true history of this illusion that we all live in. You know, where were we from? What happened? It's just, you know, perfect. It's perfectly clear to me what's happened. We're not from here at all. Absolutely not from here. When you look at Antiquitech and buildings of antiquity, there's nothing about them that gives any inkling to humanity whatsoever. There's nothing about them. The shapes of them, the dimensions of them, the practicalities of them, absolutely not there to house humans. The Palace of Versailles, no toilets. Well, someone said that there was one toilet. It's only the last 100 years that people have toilets in their houses. Before, they were outside. So, of all of these habitations across the plane, on every continent, they never had toilets. So does that mean that people didn't shit, didn't eat? It just means that these places weren't for human beings to be in and to use and to live in. It's as simple as that. It's simple, you know. If you want to go to a church building, yeah, there's no fireplace, there's no chimney, there's no toilets in them. Yeah, they're just an empty shell which recently had pews, chairs, chairage put in, and then, you know, figures put in certain parts of it. But that's it. You go to a church, it's cold, it's damp, it's boring, it's death. You might as well be in a factory with corrugated roof on it. I mean, it's just a fucking shell that housed something at some point in the past. Nothing to do with humans, nothing whatsoever, and nothing to do with a god, because nothing about a church says anything about a god. Nothing. It's just a fucking building. If anything, looking at architecture, they seem to have something to do with nature. You know, trees, you know, you can see the similarities. Trees, thorns, just fuck all. And if you go to any capital city in the world, you know, when you've got like huge, like supposed terraced housing, all of their toilets were in the back gardens, in the outhouses. Yeah. And do you think that the sewage system goes into the garden? You
know, because they always have these, you know, there's no sewage system, you know, they would have been pots, piss pots, shit pots, which they would have emptied. I mean, it just never would have fucking happened. It wouldn't have been like that. You know, it wouldn't have been like that. And if it had been, it wouldn't have been for very long. It would have been when everybody came back, and everybody came to our known world off of the ships. Yeah, they would have been like, fuck, there's no toilets. What do we do? What do we do? So that they just build like outhouses with buckets. That's what they did. And then eventually, you know, they're clearing away the mud flood, clearing away the mud, and they found all of the tunnels underneath them in all of these cities. They thought, well, we could use this as a sewage system. We can connect all this up to these buildings, put toilets in the buildings, have running water in the buildings, and make the buildings habitable. That's what happened. It's as simple as that. Now, if you're going to believe that we've been here for 8,000-10,000 years, and it's only the last 100 years that we've discovered toilets, so fuck off. What kind of a fucking numbskull are you to fucking believe that shit? What a load of bollocks. And in the 1800s, everybody wears black. Well, after 8,000 years, everybody wears black. Why? And you could go, you can pick fucking Croatia, you can pick London, you can pick Washington. Go where you like. You know, they all fucking dress the same. And a thing that came into my mind last night, and I'm not sure if it's true, but I'm just chucking it out anyway. When I've looked at all of the photos from Flat Earth British, you know, about when the inheritors came back, there's not a lot of colour anywhere. Not a lot of colour. And I was just thinking, well, perhaps the purpose of making everything black and white 100 years ago is for removing evidence. Because in all of the capital cities of the world, I've got no reason to think that they were not advanced beyond what we are capable of today in the same place. That they would have had a very colourful place. They would have had coloured paper. They would have had coloured materials, coloured clothing, or coloured something or other. But the thing is when the inheritors come back and everything's black and white, everything's made black and white, everything's painted black. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. It's easier to eliminate all evidence of a previous civilization if you go with the colour coordination, elimination, and just have everything black and white. Yeah, everything black and white.
like the Passover, and you had to put blood of some animal on your door, the lintel of your door, your front door, and then as the angel of death floated by like a fish, if it saw the mark, it would go in and kill the firstborn. And so, you know, when you're going through what we call now a city, you know, when you're kind of occupying that place, you know, there's a lot of constructs in the city, and you want to be sure that everything is clear of any evidence, you know? And so you make everything black and white on that building. You know, if there's like, you identify it as being purged. You know, and I think, you know, that's what was going through my mind last night. That's the reason. They tried to keep everything, you know, at the very least, very subtle colours at the very least, you know, like a beige or a grey, or, you know, but mostly just black and white, you know. Stripping all the gold off of the buildings, you name it, just everything. Wiping all of the plaques on all of the buildings that described what their functions were, you name it. And the only things that they couldn't get rid of are the absolutely humongous buildings such as St Paul's Cathedral. It's just too fucking big to destroy it. I mean, even if you fucking smash the fuck out of it with a bomb, you know, the rubble, I mean, you know, you'd still have a physical footprint. You know, you just, something that big, you just can't fucking get rid of it, you know? And so that's why a lot of the tech and the evidence of the previous civilization, whatever they were, can only really be kind of found by these huge constructs that, you know, couldn't be destroyed through World War I, World War II, World War III, or a plague, a fire, or an earthquake. They're too fucking big. Won't work. So, you know, it's just, all of these things I'm talking about is just fucking obvious. It's fucking obvious. Absolutely no way. If you go to if you go to any of these palaces around the world that still exist, and you go inside, I've been in a few, and it doesn't take long for you to realise once you're inside that all of the flooring is false. The flooring doesn't match the windows, you know, the heights, they're too high or they're too low. You can tell that this place was a shell, and it's just been made functional for human beings to walk in them. So, you know, we're definite with the scenario of the illusion.
history, reality, blah blah blah. I mean, I'm just going along with that for now. I know it's all bollocks, but I mean, I'll just go with it. Why not? We'll talk about something. We're quite clearly from somewhere else. We quite clearly came here through ships on the sea. We've got images of this place being literally dug out. We've got photographs of not very many. I mean, if you think about it, we know the age of photography goes back way further than they tell us. And there must have been millions and millions of photos taken. You know, around the time of when the inheritors came here to take this place, millions. And we've only got hundreds of photos. Enough to show us that, you know, when they were digging this world out from the mud flood, that they were finding all kinds of stuff, you know. From a previous civilization. Nothing works, guys. The time frames don't work. The reality of it all doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. Nothing works. Nothing they tell you. We've been told through history and current media. None of it makes any fucking sense when you think about it for long enough. You know. So the Romans had toilets, apparently, and then when did Rome end? And so then, like, so, I mean, I'm just thinking about Britain right now. Apparently, the Romans made toilets, had all that, aquifers, etc., 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 and then the Roman Empire ended, and then they thought, well, fuck that, I am never ever gonna build a fucking toilet forever. That's it. No more toilets. Shit. I'm never gonna build a fucking toilet. That's it. The Roman Empire is gone. No more toilets. Until 100 years ago, and the British thought, oh, let's have a toilet. Put it in the back garden. You know, just shit in a bucket. Because that makes fucking sense. Yeah, it all makes sense, doesn't it? It all makes perfect sense. Just total bollocks. Total bollocks. Doesn't even make any sense. Fuck, I'm supposed to be going to Crayford. I missed my turn. Mining, for example, Antarctica. We've seen the pictures of Antarctica where it's been mined. We've seen all that. Vast. America. What do they call that? Sorry. Grand Canyon. Same thing. Where has it all gone? I mean, if you're mining, maybe you're looking for gold, you know, you've got the ore or whatever, you know, all of the stuff that you're taking out, you know, when you destroy a mountain, when you, like, you know, break it down, put it onto conveyor belts, and you're picking the stuff out of it that you want, it's a minuscule percentage. So let's just say you had 1,000 tons of mountain. You might only get 1 ton of gold ore in it, or something, or silver, or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. What do you do with the other 99 tons? And when you look at the scale across the world, where all of this mining had been done by the previous civilization, where did it all go? Where's it all gone? Where have all these, you know, where's it all gone? I suppose you could say, well, it got obliterated into mud, and that's how we got the mud flood. That's one thing, I guess. Or it was taken elsewhere. Yeah, all that mining, all of that hardcore, where's it gone? You could say, well, oh, well, building materials. It was all made into building materials. Well, okay. Where's all the fucking buildings then? The amount of quarry, the amount of stuff, that there aren't enough buildings in existence for all of that to be good. So where is it? It's not here, it's somewhere else. It was taken somewhere else. And that somewhere else may well be where we are from. Because it ain't here, you know. So they're definitely not from here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are people outside of this place aware and probably looking in. And I'll say people because we're not from here, we're from somewhere else. And if it's somewhere else that we're being watched from, it's people that are watching. Yeah? I would have thought. I mean, that's not pure logic. I mean, whoever was here before we came here, it might be them that's gone to those places and shoved all of us here. You know, they've got everything that they want, so they've decontaminated us from those places and stuck us here. But one way or another, everything points to us not being from here. And it is completely fucking alien. You know, like you've got your off-gridders, you know, people that want to be off-grid, live with nature. Well, you know, I've got a surprise for you. We can't actually live like that. You know, the earth will kill you. Nature will kill you. You know, you can't lie on the ground and go to sleep. You'll be bitten to fuck. Everything will seek to devour you. Everything. Plants. You know, they could be perfectly okay to use one day. A week later, they're poisonous. Right? So you could eat fucking, I don't know, eat some kind of a stem or something one week, eat it the next week, you're dead. You know? You just can't do it. You know, weather permitting. You know, you can't do it. It's just not possible. You
protection from the elements. That's this place, you know. And yet, instinctively, we know it's not right. We know that we should be living with nature. There should be a symbiosis. We should be one with nature. We know that. This place isn't nature. This place is not our home. It's as simple as that. It does not facilitate us. But hey, bring along religion, bring along a God, and let him say, it's your fault. I curse the earth because you're all fucking evil. You all deserve it. Be fucking grateful you can grow potatoes. Right? Just fuck off. Right? It's so fucking simple. It's so simple. It's so simple. We are just not from here. Absolutely not. And I do believe that it's not just ships, but trains as well. Trains, train tracks, train lines. That was a way the inheritors came here. But I'm thinking like South America, Australia, South Africa. There, people arrived via trains. There. Everywhere up the other end, was by boat. So if you went with Trinity for Man or Trinity 4, it's a YouTube channel. Now he suggests that the flat plane is like in the shape of a heart. So kind of like where the Corona Islands are, that area. It's kind of like the outside coming in, like the sea that way. So I need to think for a minute. What the fucking way to wait for now? This is bollocks. Fuck's sake. Can't believe I missed my turn. Fuck. Which is silly. I might still be at home right now. But say from the South Americas, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, that it's not the same as the other end, where it's kind of like goes in and boats can come in that way, like that, and then into our sea, and then to the lands. But from the other way, I think it's by train. So that would suggest, if he's right, mean, I'm sorry, I have to fucking keep saying north and fucking south and shit. I know it's bollocks, you know, but I have to fucking say otherwise you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So like from the north, because, you know, there's that other ocean out there. To come from that direction, from the north, you've got to come by ship. But down south, the ocean isn't there. It's land out there from the south. And that's why they had to come in via train. And because of the music. When you go like to the, you know, to the south, and you listen to the music, like Madagascar, Mauritius, Réunion, South Africa, it's like, you know, that's the rhythm of the music. When you go to these places and when you listen to the music of these places, and you think, how the fuck did they come, you know, I mean, because you've got like heavy metal, you know, you've got country music, you know, but when you go to these, when you listen to music from these places, these geographical places, there's something very distinct, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of origin or explanation as to the rhythms that they use. You know? I think it's because they arrived there on trains. And it's the sound of the trains. Fucking hell, this guy's a company. Fucking swat. Fuck, 60 miles an hour, he's driving 30. Ordinarily I wouldn't give a shit, but I'm kind of a little bit wound up at the moment talking about what I'm talking about, you know, because I mean, like at the moment everyone's sort of like angry against the Russians, you know, because of what's happening in Ukraine. So everyone's a little bit fucking tense at the moment. So at the moment, you know, I won't argue with anybody or disagree with anybody, because, you know, they're not their normal selves. Everybody's a little bit fucking irritable at the moment, you know, for that reason. And so obviously I'm reacting because of what I'm talking about. I'm a bit fucking irritated myself, so like, you know, all of these stupid little triggers in this stupid little mirage that I'm fucking can't fucking get out of, you know, it's fucking triggering me off. So I apologise. I don't want to kind of like give any authenticity to this illusion while I'm doing this vlog. I apologise. I retract. home. Now I've got to go and fucking drive an hour away. And at the same time I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, but I need a pee. Yeah. I wanted to get home, I wanted to eat. Yeah. So you get home, you have a pee, then what? Well, nothing. Did you achieve anything? No. Well, I took the piss. So what? Exactly, so what? Doesn't fucking, nothing fucking matters. Did you eat? Yes, no, who gives a shit? Did you piss? Who cares? Does it make any difference that you did or didn't piss to the global economy? Did you save a penguin in fucking Antarctica because you took a piss? No. Fuck all. I achieved fuck all. Nothing. It's worthless, meaningless. So why do I get upset? It's crazy. I don't think I'd like to get robbed. I don't think I've ever been robbed. No, I've never been successfully robbed. If I did get robbed, would it matter? And if it did matter, to what would it matter exactly? To me? Well, maybe to me it would matter. Maybe I'd be annoyed and upset, but then if I get not annoyed and upset, does it matter? And if it does, to who? To what? To what does it fucking matter? Nothing. And ironically, it doesn't exist, so there is no matter. One thing I'm definitely going to get to the bottom of is this whole thing about riches, about being rich, you know, and the powerful having everything, and then people like myself, peasants, having nothing, running to the ground. You know, the whole thing, how it all works, you know, the whole fake monetary system, fake currency, the whole thing, you know. Why is it that billionaires and trillionaires don't buy countries, don't buy armies, don't do lots of things? You know, you think there aren't a lot of rich people in the world, but the ones that are rich beyond comprehension. They could fucking buy a continent. They've got that much fucking money, but they don't. They don't. And they hide in obscurity. And they just... There's this realm that seems to exist where they're in it. And even their money, all of their incredible riches that give them whatever they could ever possibly want, doesn't seem to make any difference, doesn't seem to matter. It's like a facade. So there's people in this world that have all the money and influence and power that goes with it. But the trick is that they already have the power, and it's not because of money, but money is like the justification, the explanation, the cover that hides them, that makes them irreproachable, unapproachable, and irreproachable. That's what's really going on. And I can get to the bottom of it in this world, because it's not as difficult, you know, to just be aware of what's really going on. How do these people in power in this place? Oh, bollocks. I'm going a bit fast, mate. Oh, this is so fucking annoying. You know, any world leader, I mean, just so yeah, money, money, personal property ownership, fear-mongering, lies, these fake history as well, you know. Oh yeah, you know, this king fought against this queen, and that queen fought against this king, and this country, and this war, that war, and monarchy, and blah 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 blah. And you know, what have you got today? How many kings and queens exist on the earth today? How many? The British Empire. Where is it? Where is it? And all the Commonwealth and all that lot. All the lands and everything. How are they kept British? How was that? How was that done? Because in the fake story, the British Empire was huge. They could maintain it. They could hold these places, run these places. It's like British Empire. You've got some 96-year-old in a palace. So how is she the most powerful woman in the world? How is that? Money? Oh yeah, she's got lots and lots of money. Yeah. Property? Yeah, she's got lots of property. Oh, she's got God on her side. You know, but really, none of those things can secure her power. So how does she got that power? How has she got that? Or, you know, the Russian president. One man. A single man. he has the power. So how does he have his power? Exactly. And when you go through all of the things, and when you really think about them, you'll realise that it's not true. Actually, none of those things could give him the power to do what he's doing. So he's got his power some other way. Same with all world government. The nation of world government, all the world leaders that meet several times a year in secret to discuss your demise. Who are they? How have they got the power? And what do I mean when I say power? I mean influence. They decide what you can and cannot do. They decide what your environment is going to be like, whether it be cold, hot, small, large, wet, dry. You know, they make the decisions. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's laughable. Nothing about that validates the reality of life. It's nonsensical, and it's a complete nonsense. It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't add up. There's no reason why things are as they are. There's no logical reason for it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make. I could drive if I could. I mean, I guess it's possible. You know, I could go and kill the Queen. I think it's actually possible. Or somebody better than me could do that. But then, you know, why hasn't it been done up to this moment? Why hasn't that been done? I mean, you know, the Queen's government well, I mean, it would take me forever to list the abuses of the Queen upon the people of Great Britain and the Commonwealth. You know, it's just unimaginable, really, how British Commonwealth people are treated by her government. I mean, you know, she's enemy number one. Whoever she says that she's over, rules over, you know, she is the worst enemy of those people. But she declares that she's sovereign over and controls and owns and everything else. You know? Just worse than fucking Hitler. Far worse. Far worse. And then, you know, whoever comes after her will just do exactly the same thing. Just perpetuate the same abuses. Britain is horribly, it's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. You'd never guess that a woman is in charge of Great Britain. It's so ugly. The M25, the North Circular, the M1, Glasgow, Thamesmead, you name it. It's grey, dismal, horrible. She's got absolutely no interest whatsoever in making the British Isles or any other place a nice place with flowers. Doesn't want to make it nice for the people. Doesn't give a fuck. All she does is open buildings to facilitate the system, to facilitate the government, her government, to facilitate our misery. Terrible fucking woman. Terrible. Fucking terrible. And as a Christian, you have to believe that she's put there by God. What a great God you've got. Thank God for Lizzie. But, you know, I say like, oh, go and kill the Queen, but I mean, fucking make any difference. I'm not even sure you'd be able to do it anyway. It doesn't matter that it is humanly possible. It doesn't matter, because this place isn't real. You know, and the laws that it tells you that, you know, cannot be broken, laws of gravity, laws of time and space, thermodynamics, whatever fucking law you want to come up with that you believe is real and part of this life, it's an illusion. And those laws can be bent and broken to facilitate those who are in power. So no, I would never get anywhere near the fucking Queen. No way. No way. No way. They're just like some kind of a fucking sentinel in the Matrix, some kind of hub or something. For sure. I mean, you know, if the whole world, if I could reach the whole world, you know, just I don't even need to say the right words. You know, I don't even need to say the right words. I want to say, look, whole world. Okay. Please go to your capital cities and destroy all governance that subdues you. You know, go to fucking destroy them all, kill them all, kill them all. You know, whole fucking lot of them. And then, I'd love that. I really would. Not that I think it's an answer. I just feel like, yeah, I'd feel so much better just knowing, you know, that, you know, that kind of thing wouldn't happen anymore and those people would die. I love it. I just love that idea. But then, what next? What next? You know, how do you rebuild? Because you can't live off-grid. You can't live like that. And I know history has told us that, like, oh, you know, like in, what times was it? Fuck, I can't remember. But when everyone's walking around in rags and eating potatoes and mouldy bread. What era do they call that? I can't even remember. Never fucking existed. Never fucking existed. Never existed. You know, there's always been antiquitech buildings and cities. They've always been there. There was never a time when people were living in mud huts. It's just bollocks, man. So there's no way back to that because it never fucking existed in the first place. And on a practical note, you couldn't live like that anyway. You couldn't live like that. One, because of all the buildings. Two, nature wants to kill you. You know? It just you know, I hate to say it, but you know, living in buildings made of brick and wood is actually the only way to live here. It's the only way, because the elements will kill you. But the reason that it's that way is because this is not our home. This is not our environment. This is not how we should be living. We should be living in something else. Not this. Yeah, I mean, so in a sense, the way that we do live, you know, living in buildings and vehicles, because we can only fucking run, what, 30 miles an hour? By the way, it's because we live in water. Yeah, what you think is oxygen is water. So that's why you can't run very fast, because you're running in water. You know, it's no difference to treading water when you're in a swimming pool. You know, there's resistance. So here, it's all fucking water everywhere. It's dense enough to create a resistance, so we can only run 30 miles an hour. It's pathetic. So I mean, the only difference. So if you got rid of world governance, literally, because the only thing that maintains it are these particular people. So if you kill them, then the governance can't be maintained. So therefore, that's it. Everybody's free. But I mean, the only difference, I think, would be that this world would be more beautiful. You know, in a sense that, you know, all sweat equity would be spent on beautifying everything. But fundamentally, it's still going to be constructs that we'd be living in. It would still be vehicles to get us around faster because of this medium of water that we're now living in. So, you know, it's not going to be a great difference, really. I mean, you'd have more time on your hands to do what you would like to do, for you to be able to live the life that you've got every right to live the way that you choose, which you don't have now because of governance. But I mean, apart from, you know, those few things, I don't think much would be different. You know, the real problem is that we're here and this is not our home, and nothing about this place likes us. Nothing. Nature doesn't like us. You can tame animals, but you've tamed them, you know. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. But, you know, I'm just talking about the scenario of this illusion that we're all in. I'm just talking about that. As to actual answers to stop all of this shit continuously going on, That's going to be a different subject, and the answers won't be found here, as I've said so many times before. Please don't hit anything. I've got to do some paperwork now. I mean, my job is working with water. You know, is that a coincidence? Fucking how many samples did I take? I mean, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But my job is working with water, and I'm flat Earth British sub. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? Oh. Yeah, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. I mean, you know, like every major religion in the world. What the fuck has water got to do with a god? Any god, or non-god? You know, and any belief system. What the fuck has water got to do with a god? Unless it's a fish, a jellyfish or something. Okay, be back in a minute. Will that turn off? Yeah, getting to the point of like, what's the point in living? Is it working now? What's the point in living? And of course, I'm not living. This is not true. It's not really happening. You know, in the sense that you want to give up, you know, and do a Frodo. I can't do this anymore, Sam. But it's not actually happening anyway. So I just think I've got to do some shopping now. I don't want to do any fucking shopping. But yeah, you know, I just want to give up. I just want to give up and just say, no, fuck off. But I'm achieving nothing by being here. I achieve nothing by not being here. And I am not here, and I'm achieving nothing. Why is it always a fucking Phoenician laughable irony to fucking everything, you know? Every time, man, every time. I mean, what is clear is that the truth is hidden from us. The truth is hidden. And everything about this life is fucking terrible. You can be optimistic. You can conjure up in your mind tiny little things that make life seem like it's worth living, like a kitten or a gerbil. But in the grand scheme, in the whole thing, it's fucking terrible. It's terrible. It's a terrible experience. It's terrible. And there's no obvious reason for it. But for such a theatre, how could there not be? You know, it's like you go to see a big show up in town, yeah, but the show doesn't have a name. So, you know, you go to the kiosk and you say, yeah, I'd like to see the show that everybody's like going crazy about. And then the kiosk attendant says, oh, that one. Yeah. The one that has no name. That's your life. About to go and buy some veg in Aldi. Why? Because it's cheap. And at the same time, I'm like, Why? Why am I going shopping to buy food to eat? Why am I eating? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? I think, oh, maybe non-existence is the answer. I say, well, it's not the answer, because you're living a non-existent life. Driving around in circles trying to find a parking space because I can't be asked to walk. Round and round and round. Could park this one. Fuck it. Let's go there. Things are not going the way I want to do. In fact, that's every day. Anyway, yeah, I was just thinking now, you know, when I interact with people, you know, I kind of view them as just they're in their own personal hell. Everybody is in their own personal, for want of a better phrase, you know. We're all going through the same thing. I mean, I kind of realise that, but then, you know, when I'm looking at people, listening to people, and wondering whether I should interact with them or not, that's all I really see them as at the moment, you know. Before Flat Earth British, I mean, you know, and during the early years of Flat Earth British, I've had different ideas, you know, about people. But all things considered now, shocking. Some kind of a story or something that I know. It's along the lines of, you know, like people being kind of enslaved one way or another, tricked, and, you know, the solution is just so simple. You know, the way out for them is so simple. It's just there. It's like there. They don't even have to look for it, you know. And then you know, the whole story is the absurdity that they can be free, and it's so easy, and yet they avoid it like the plague. You know, it's kind of like that, and yet, you know, I'm trying to like find, but you know, I do 1,000 times more than most people do to try and sort of like get the answers and stuff, you know. And I can't fucking find it. I mean, I'm just as bad as them, you know. It's just everything about this world is a lie. I'm really trying to think about if this has got to fucking stop, like, already. I mean, most of my considerations are things to do with the principles of this world. Death, for example, you know, thinking, logic, religion, right, wrong, up, down, inside, out. Doesn't, you know, it's all of these things are all the problem. I mean, they're just never ever going to be the bloody answer. You say, why is this happening to me? Why am I living? I didn't ask to live. Why is it so bad? Blah 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 blah. You know, there are no answers, and there are no questions. You know, it's not a matter of, oh, it's a test from God. You know, there's no like, oh, it's whatever you want to come out with. Survival of the fittest, or you know, like Buddhism. Oh, I'm just trying to become the one with the one. You know, getting back. It's no such thing, because such things belong in the illusion. All such things. So, you know, the whole thing about like, what's the reason? There is no reason. Like, who put me in this situation? You know, there is no who in the sense of the world and what who means. You know, whatever it is, it's completely outside of our experience. Memorable experience. It's ginger beer, I swear.